Hey there, Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising. It's Maggie from Moondirected. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. And today we are discussing that new moon that's happening in Virgo on Friday, August 30th at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here in the United States. If you are not in the United States, this would be your second new moon of the calendar month, making that a black new moon. Just a little fun fact for you. Just a little fun fact. So let's find out what we're talking about. I want to remind you to always check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. Your sun sign, it's the core of you. It's how you feel inside. It is the it's the way you're going to view the world, and your personality is reflected in the way you interact with the world is reflected through your rising sign. So always checking those out is a really good idea for a more balanced look. And then your moon sign is how you feel inside. And okay, check out your moon sign. Wow, this is a lot of focus on emotions for the next 6 to 18 months with this new moon cycle. So whatever it is that you are trying to create, whatever it is you're trying to do, this is in your third house of communication, short distance travel, smaller things, more intimate and closed in things than we have here. Reveal your truth. So this is going to be you speaking up. That's communication, right? Being willing to step up and say who you are to the world. So 6 to 18 month cycle. It may take a little while to get there. So baby steps are okay, but starting to make that effort, starting to express who you are, and because you need to know your fears. So what is holding you back from being authentically you? Identifying that will be a first great step. So start journaling. Start journaling about what you're afraid of. And I think that as you start to write, then that allows Spirit to communicate with you, and it'll be a lot easier to work through whatever's holding back, whatever your fears are. Are you, oh God, I hate that. Okay, so I just heard, are you afraid of success? Oh, okay. That is something they used to say a lot when I was selling Party Late. Are you afraid of success? And I'd be like, who's afraid of success? That makes no sense. But I think, and I still don't really understand what that means. Okay, so are you afraid that it will change your life too much? Are you afraid that you can't be as successful as you would like to be? What is that fear? But I think that it says be patient. And I want to say be patient with yourself as you work through this process. And I also think that whatever it is you are trying to create, whatever it is that you are trying to communicate out to the world, may take a little more time than maybe you were hoping it would. So remember, it's a 6 to 18 month cycle. Be willing to speak your truth. Be willing to release your fears. Okay, I just heard therapist. So maybe you need to work through things with a therapist. That would take a little bit of time. That would be communicating. That would be revealing your truth. Not everything can be journaled away. Sometimes you need professional help, and there's no shame in that. If you need someone to talk to, then find them and understand that this is going to be something that requires time. Okay, this one. This one. Oh, yeah. And that? Okay. Oh, yes. And have hope. Maintain hope that there is help out there. That lighthouse is in this picture. That is that Spirit shining their light on you across the emotional waters and reflecting back to you the beauty that is within you, which is the pearl, right? And that pearl is developed from the irritation of a grain of sand getting into the oyster, right? And the oyster starts secreting fluid to make it stop hurting, and eventually a beautiful thing of value comes in. And so I want to suggest that for some of you, the hard life lessons that you've gone through, the things you've had to learn to overcome, those things are what makes you beautiful. So be willing to be who you are. The overall energy for this, besides that, we also have the Moon and the Hermit. So this is communication with Spirit. This is a willingness to go within. This is allowing Spirit to be your guiding light, to give you downloads of information, to understand that you are going to grow and change and shift through the moon cycles. And not everything is being revealed to you right now. It is a process. This is definitely a process. And so be patient with it. It's going to take 6 to 18 months to work your way through it, but it is a healing. You are healing from something, maybe childhood trauma, maybe another kind of trauma, maybe past life issues, but there is a revealing. That was the dog snorting. That's funny. So maybe there is something, and you'll know what it is, that's really been difficult for you to let go of. But with the North Node being in Cancer and the South Node in Capricorn, things have been being stirred up and emotions are being brought to the forefront. We've got Chiron working through Aries right now, and so here we have the Ram showing up in the part of emotions where there's the Knight of Wands, and so maybe it's triggering something for you in that deep-seated healing that needs to be healed. You're feeling like you're up against it. And so, yes, journaling, yes, but maybe a little professional help will be necessary. Okay, so we have the grasshopper, which is releasing the emotional baggage and being willing to move forward. Okay, but we have this emperor here, and I'm actually going to go to the book because the way it's depicted there is interesting, and I want to know what her take on that was. This is such a great tarot. It says, everyone says they want to be a ruler, but I wonder how many would last a day in my world. It would seem that I need more light. Over 50 eyes. It would seem that even the most, it would seem that most want to share in just the bounty and not what is required to keep that bounty. It is my job, the job of any leader, actually, to think about all the parts of abundance, not just the teeny piece that so many focus on. It is the skill to keep, honor, and protect what you have. It is not a skill that is glamorous, fashionable, or newsworthy. It is also not to be taught overnight. No, if you want to sit in my seat, you're going to have to get your hands dirty and put in some very long, hard hours first. Still want to be the ruler? And so I think that this sense of stability, this emotional satisfaction, this emotional bounty that you're working toward here, this releasing the emotional baggage, that is a very long, hard, tedious process. You're going to need to be patient with yourself as you work your way through it. I think a good thing to do to start would be to write down, start the journal. Start the journal about what is bothering you in your life. And I say that because then when you do that, you'll understand whether it's stuff you can work through on your own or if you need to go and get professional assistance, but you'll already have a really good idea of where it is you're headed when you get there. It will save time and money, and more than that, it will make it more productive. If you already start looking at what is the issue, what was my responsibility in this issue? And I think that you will find as you work your way through it, most issues you don't hold as much responsibility for as you think you do. And so part of releasing emotional baggage is being willing to say, well, you know what? I was just a kid. That wasn't my responsibility. And then there's the working through that, well, that would be my parents' responsibility. And then you have to remember people can only do what they know how to do. And so then you can release them of the responsibility in part through forgiveness. Not necessarily because it wasn't their responsibility, but you can forgive them for not knowing how to do something, knowing how to nurture you, not knowing how to care for you, not knowing how to teach you the things you needed to know in order to move forward in life. Okay, so you can forgive them because they probably didn't learn because their parents didn't learn. And so as you work your way back, then it becomes a smaller issue and it's easier then to set down the baggage and move forward. Not all traumas are going to be that easy to work through. And I feel very strongly like I'm supposed to tell you that if you need professional help, to be sure to seek it. So we have independent, healthy boundaries. This is this healing process. This is understanding that, not everything is your fault. You're not responsible for everything. Sure, you want to keep things around the house safe and secure, and you want to provide the best opportunity for your children and your partner, and you're always trying to nurture Cancer. You're a nurturer, right? But at some point, it's other people's responsibility to nurture themselves also. And so you do what you can. You forgive those who don't know how to do what they're supposed to do. And you don't take responsibility for everything. Independent and healthy boundaries, because you are here to create something beautiful. Your life. It should be filled with joy and not negativity. So these swords that have been flying at you, people, the things they say that wound you over and over because you keep hearing them, you replay this stuff over and over and over in your mind, you need to fly away. That's a flying squirrel. You need to get away from that and allow yourself your own space where you can create the beautiful life that you want, the bounty that you want. It's hard work to get there. You're going to need to be patient. You're going to have to really face your fears. You're going to have to be willing to work through things honestly with yourself to reveal your own truth. So start with the journal. And if the journal is not getting you far enough, then seek professional help. So communication is the key. So communicating with yourself through journaling, but I also feel like if you do decide to seek professional help, that you are honest with whoever is helping you so that they can actually help you, and also being honest with the people around you that, hey, I need a little help over here. I'm working through this, or you know what? It is not okay to talk to me that way. Just because that's the way, you were raised doesn't make it okay. So setting the healthy boundaries, spending time in spirit with meditation and contemplation to help you work through these things, and believe in the impossible. You can overcome. Believe in the impossible. Full moon in Cancer is happening I think on Christmas Day, to December 25th, 2019. This is a really good thing to be working toward, releasing some of the emotional baggage by the time you get to that milestone, because there's an eclipse. It's eclipse energy. You could get a lot of work done between now and then to really, really get you on this path. Surrender to the journey. You're just setting out. I'm not saying that you are going to be healed by December 25th. I'm saying that's an opportunity to get a lot of work done between now and then you can begin this transformation, this healing, this rising from the ashes of the phoenix. So getting ready to release that emotional baggage with that eclipse so that you can begin the process of moving forward and building from there is kind of what that looks like. Wow, this is a really heavy reading. Hey there, Cancer. It's a really heavy reading. All right, so let's get you a little guidance, affirmation, and a crystal you can get to work with. You can always pick them up online. I like to go into gemstone stores and actually pick them up and hold them, but sometimes I just get them online if I can't find them personally. And you can always charge them up by putting them in the sunlight, in the moonlight, cleaning them with sage. Where is it? You have Jet. Jet you can pick up at a gemstone store easily. Jet is so light. It is shiny and light, but it's about emotional healing. It says, I am always divinely protected. I know I am safe. So keeping that Jet with you when you're journaling. If you go to seek professional help, taking it with you, you are being divinely guided and protected on this part of the journey. It is a journey. It's a big deal. This is a big deal. That eclipse in Capricorn should have moved some stuff out of the way, but what happened is all this turmoil of these eclipses going on, and then that full moon in Aquarius, it probably stirred up a lot of stuff. And then this past weekend, what was it? Chiron was in square with Aries. No, the moon was in square with Aries right at the degree of where Chiron is. Yeah. So degree with Chiron and Aries, yes. So all that crap really got stirred up. And so now I think you may have identified what you need to work on. Start the process. Because on the other side of it is so much more joy and happiness and your ability to create your own life the way you want it. So go ahead and, you know, every ascent of Mount Everest starts with that first step. So this is yours. So go for it, okay? You take care. We'll talk soon.